Welcome to another episode of Mastering Cybersecurity, developed by baremetalcyber.com. Let's dive in. Security teams face walls of alerts, repetitive tasks, and decision points that arrive faster than people can reasonably handle during a busy shift. Security Orchestration, Automation, and Response (SOAR) addresses this pressure by coordinating tools, speeding routine steps, and guiding consistent decisions when seconds matter. The idea is simple yet powerful because the platform assembles information, performs safe automated actions, and reserves human attention for judgment calls. Alert fatigue decreases because predictable checks and containment steps no longer wait in a queue through available hands. Consistency improves because the same scenario follows the same playbook every time, which reduces uncertainty and rework. The promise is faster recovery, clearer accountability, and fewer missed signals during long days and unpredictable nights. At its core, Security Orchestration, Automation, and Response (SOAR) combines three complementary capabilities that mirror daily security work. Orchestration connects systems so data and actions flow between them without manual copying, which removes delay and transcription errors during investigations. Automation performs safe, predefined steps that analysts would otherwise repeat by hand, freeing time for interpretation and communication. Response structures containment and recovery actions so outcomes are traceable, timely, and reversible when needed. In a Security Operations Center, SOC, the platform sits alongside monitoring and case management to shepherd alerts through the incident lifecycle. During incident response, IR, it becomes the reliable runner that gathers context, executes guarded actions, and documents evidence in the same motion. SOA is often confused with adjacent tools, so clear roles help everyone collaborate smoothly across the stack. Security Information and Event Management (SIEM) collects, correlates, and alerts, while SOA consumes those alerts and drives the follow-through decisions and actions. Endpoint Detection and Response (EDR) and Extended Detection and Response (XDR) watch hosts and beyond, while SOA calls their functions to quarantine, collect data, or release a device. Ticketing or IT Service Management (ITSM) tracks work across teams, while SOA opens and updates records as investigations progress. Integrations and permissions connect these layers so each system does its part without duplicating effort. When these boundaries are clear, analysts move confidently because every tool's job is understood. Inside the platform, several building blocks work together to turn alerts into consistent outcomes. Playbooks or runbooks describe the steps to take for a given scenario, including branching decisions and stopping points that require a human approval. Connectors and integrations link external systems so enrichment and actions run directly from the playbook without awkward switching between screens. Cases hold the story, evidence, notes, and timestamps, which keep context intact when shifts change or more teams join the work. Enrichment steps pull details from asset inventories, vulnerability scanners, and user directories so early choices are informed rather than guessed. Action modules isolate a device, disable an account, or notify a person, all with logging that supports later review and potential rollback. Good playbooks read like careful stories that machines can follow and humans can understand under pressure. Triggers define what starts the workflow, while conditions and branches route different situations through tailored paths that avoid blunt, one-size decisions. Variables carry important details like hostnames, user identifiers, and time windows, so actions are precise and reversible when needed. Retries and timeouts handle flaky services, which prevents a single missed response from stalling the entire investigation during busy hours. Version control and change notes provide a clear history of edits so reviewers can see who adjusted thresholds and why those adjustments improved safety. Test harnesses and stage deployments validate new logic before production so confidence remains high and surprises remain rare. Automation must never outrun safety, so human-in-the-loop controls shape how far playbooks can proceed without explicit review. Approval gates define which actions require confirmation, especially those that interrupt business service or affect many users at once. Risk thresholds set guardrails that allow low-impact steps to proceed while pausing for scrutiny when potential harm grows. Notifications provide context to reviewers so decisions are quick, consistent, and defensible when examined later by compliance teams. For critical approvals, multi-factor authentication, MFA, adds assurance that the right person authorized the right step at the right moment. These controls keep trust high because automation moves fast only where the cost of a mistake remains low. Phishing triage highlights how structure and speed translate to fewer successful scams and cleaner inboxes. The playbook gathers the suspicious message, preserves headers, and extracts the sender, the uniform resource locator, URL, and attachment details without altering the evidence. It checks the domain age, reputation records, and hosting clues, then detonates attachments in a controlled sandbox to observe behavior safely. The workflow queries mailbox logs to find other recipients, quarantines matching messages, and alerts the help desk when user support is needed. If the sample proves benign, users receive a short, friendly message explaining the findings to reinforce reporting habits without shame. If malicious, accounts are secured, blocks are set, and the case records hold every step for future training and pattern updates. Malware containment shows the orchestration side by coordinating multiple systems to reduce dwell time and uncertainty. The playbook asks EDR or XDR for process trees, network connections, and recent alerts, then isolates the endpoint only if policy thresholds are met. It collects a memory sample, critical logs, and a small file set for later analysis, so remediation does not erase important clues. The workflow checks whether the device hosts sensitive applications, then lines up a clean image or patch set, so recovery is swift and careful. Parallel notifications keep affected teams informed, including help desk, application owners, and network administrators who might see related events elsewhere. When the host is cleared, the system releases isolation, tracks post-remediation monitoring, and closes the loop with a brief, time-stamped summary. Behind every smooth run are careful safeguards that respect limits and plan for failure without drama. Application Programming Interface, API, quotas, timeouts, and temporary outages are expected conditions, so playbooks handle them with backoff, retries, and clear error notes. Fallback behaviors choose the safer path when uncertainty rises, such as pausing high-risk actions while still completing low-impact checks that keep momentum. Sandbox testing with realistic data catches surprises before production, while feature flags allow gradual rollout during quieter periods. Idempotent actions ensure repeated steps do not compound side effects, which protects stability when integrations misbehave. These quiet disciplines prevent small hiccups from becoming long outages or confusing half changes during tense investigations. Value becomes visible when teams measure outcomes before and after automation with simple, honest numbers. Mean time to remediate, MTTR, shows whether containment and recovery truly accelerated under real conditions rather than isolated demonstrations. False positive rates reveal whether enrichment and thresholds improved precision or merely added noise to saturated queues. Automation coverage indicates which scenarios run hands-free, which pause for approvals, and which still require manual steps that deserve future attention. Baselines taken over several weeks avoid skew from unusual weeks, while small annotations explain notable incidents that distort trends. When teams share these measures clearly, leaders gain confidence that improvements are real, repeatable, and worth sustaining across shifts. Governance ensures that speed never undermines control, evidence, or organizational trust across different groups and time zones. Roles and permissions separate who can design playbooks, who can approve risky actions, and who can run daily operations without conflict. Comprehensive logging captures inputs, decisions, actions, and results so auditors can follow the story long after the incident ends. Rollback plans describe how to unwind an action safely when new facts appear, which keeps analysts calm during uncertain moments. Exception handling documents why a playbook was bypassed and who approved the deviation, which preserves accountability while respecting real-world complexity. Supporting documents keep definitions, thresholds, and change histories current so new teammates understand the system they inherit. Security orchestration, automation, and response brings harmony to noisy environments by connecting tools, guiding steps, and documenting evidence without slowing urgent work. The path forward begins with one or two high-impact scenarios that are frequent, well understood, and safe to automate under clear guardrails. Each successful playbook reduces toil, exposes gaps worth fixing, and builds confidence to extend coverage respectfully. Over time, teams gain a calmer rhythm because routine decisions move quickly while judgment receives the focus it deserves. The long-term result is steadier containment, clearer stories, and fewer surprises during both daytime shifts and midnight calls. Reliable automation becomes the quiet partner that helps people do their best work. Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit baremetalcyber.com.